It's June 18th, 2014, a gray day in Providence. We're in the North Burial Ground looking at the pond that is the only known population of Fowler's toads in Providence. This is in the middle of it's spring, we're almost into summer, and since about the middle of May there have been tadpoles in this pond. They have bred on a number of nights, and they have produced a whole series of age classes in the pond. It's a gray day. Normally I video the swimming tadpoles in the pond, but when it's gray you have to use another method. I have also been catching tadpoles each day, putting them into little containers so that I can video them with water, just so I can get a very good sense of what their legs do as they develop. What you're seeing now is some small tadpoles that, those squares are an inch, so you've got tadpoles from just over a half inch to up to an inch. That's about the size range. And you're seeing them at all stages of development. They get bigger, they start to grow legs. And this is just the sample from one day of good pictures of tadpoles. You can see how they move, you can see what their legs look like. Every one of the first three you've seen had different sized legs. They live with snails, there's a whole bunch of different insects in there, and this you can see the next stage of leg development. And the one next to it, it's a little different, and every one of them is, and just the incredible diversity of the day was amazing, with everything from the very smallest tadpoles, like that one, that's less than a half inch. They come out of the egg at about an eighth of an inch, so it's not the smallest you'll see. You've got those two-leggeds. Now those legs are about as big as they will get. The bodies will start to shrink, and the tails will shrink. The front legs will come out. They will be much smaller. The tadpoles, when they turn to toads, are much smaller than the tadpoles that even you see at this stage, which is not nearly well developed. They shrink in the body width, and you see that notch behind the head. That's where the front legs come from. My favorite part of tadpole watching is the small forg-leggeds with tails. And this is an early part of the season for them, so enjoy. You'll only see a couple of them, but I just think they're so cute. Tadpoles are not social, but they are colonial. They tend to live in very large schools, but they seem to have absolutely no social memory, social interaction, anything. Essentially, their reaction to tadpoles is like their reaction to almost anything. They're kind of defenseless, no teeth, no legs, tail that's not real strong. They're not powerful swimmers. So whenever anything irritates them, all they do is start shaking. It may be the most characteristic motion of a tadpole. You see it in the pond. When I'm videoing in there, I've got lots of pictures of them just shaking around. But when they're in captivity and they're closer together, it is just what they always do. It is really kind of interesting and kind of funny, but tadpoles shake. While most of the tadpoles in this pond are Fowler's toad tadpoles, there's also a gray tree frog, that big one with the kind of wide tail and the kind of yellowish belly. They are much rarer in there, but they turn into beautiful little tree frogs. We're coming back to looking at that tree frog tadpole again. They're bigger, they're wider, but I'll tell you, when they turn over, that beautiful golden belly is just amazing. So they're much rarer and they're different, but they produce these beautiful iridescent green frogs. Get ready for another little four-leggeds. This one just starts crawling around the container. He just starts going up the walls. It's like he is just about ready to come out. And you'll see on other days the ones where they've got four legs and the tail just gets shorter and shorter, and eventually they just hop away from the pond. But he is just so cute. Well, that's it for June 18th at the North Burial Ground.